So, if you're coming from Windows and now you've started using a Mac, one of the first things you're going to notice is how the mouse and trackpad work differently than what you're used to. The trackpad in particular is absolutely amazing and so much better than the majority of trackpads on Windows computers. But if you don't take just a few minutes to figure out how it works, you're going to default back to what feels familiar to you, which usually means your workflow is going to get slower and often more frustrating. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through step by step exactly how to use the Apple Magic Trackpad. I'm going to show you how to do this simply, easily, and effectively. And I'll also provide a one-page cheat sheet at the end of this video that you can refer to later as needed. All right, so let's get you rolling and make your Mac that much easier to use. So welcome to my channel. My name is Dan Fox and I've spent over 30 years doing professional technical support. On the channel here, I want to help you choose the right technology without buying things you don't need and then fully use that technology so you get your money's worth. Once we're done here today, you should have a good understanding of how this device works and you should be comfortable changing any settings you need to so everything's dialed in specific to your needs. So another thing I noticed right away when I first started using a Mac was just how smoothly everything scrolls across the screen. And this might sound really silly, but you have to see it to understand. And even on older Macs with older screens, text doesn't jitter on the screen line by line. You can easily read it as it goes by, and this makes it so much easier to keep track of your place and documents and websites and such, even as you're scrolling. And all of this really starts to come into play when you start using an Apple trackpad or an Apple mouse. And let me just say that after 20 years of terrible trackpads on Windows, this was a whole new experience for me. It's very accurate and incredibly responsive. When I'm using a Mac, I prefer to use a trackpad most of the time. And you can use it just like a normal mouse, but it also works with something called gestures. Now, I'll explain what these are, but just know that these make navigating around so much quicker and easier once you learn them. And they feel really natural too, not like you're jumping through hoops to make things work. Of course, every MacBook comes with a built-in trackpad, but even non-laptop Macs, like an iMac or a Mac Mini, you can use one too because Apple sells a wireless version of the trackpad. And if you have a MacBook and you use it closed when it's connected to a monitor, that wireless version of the trackpad is really nice to have. It works exactly the same way as the ones built into the MacBooks, it's just larger, but they're both equally easy and useful. To control the cursor on screen, you simply drag a single finger around on the trackpad. Now, to keep things simple, I'm not going to go into every single setting here. That said, if something's annoying or bothering you and it just doesn't quite fit with your workflow, you can typically turn it off in the settings. One thing you may want to change right away is the speed in which the cursor moves when you drag your finger around, because this part is very subjective based on the way you work. You can do this by hitting the Apple logo, selecting System Settings, scrolling all the way down until you see the word Trackpad, selecting that, and then right here, changing the tracking speed. Again, this will change how fast the cursor moves across the screen when you drag your finger on the trackpad. If you want to select something on the screen, you simply press down on the trackpad until you feel it click. So I'm dragging my finger over to this file, single finger clicking it to select it. And on some Macs, you can even control the amount of pressure it takes pushing down to make it click. Now, this is not an option on all Macs, and the MacBook Neo does not have this feature. And if you do have this option, it'll be under the trackpad settings we were just at before, right here under the click section. You can drag this slider between light, medium, and firm to adjust just how much pressure you have to push down to click on the trackpad. And typically, if you want to open a file on your Mac, let's say a photo or an email attachment or something like that, you need to double click. On a trackpad, this is done by taking one finger and doing a quick click 2 times in a row. So again, I'm just going to mouse over, 2 clicks on that file, and it's opened up the file. Now, if you're struggling with this, you can actually go into the settings and change how quickly you need to double click in a row to make this work. This is done by changing settings in the accessibility section. And just know that this single setting will control it for both mouse and trackpad at the same time. A slightly different section in the settings this time, but we're going to click the Apple logo, go to System Settings, and this time select Accessibility. Scroll all the way down until you see pointer control and then select that. Once you get into pointer control, right here is where you adjust the speed in which you need to click 2 times in a row for a double click. You can also turn on something called tap to click. Now, with this on, you just tap instead of physically pressing down on the trackpad. This might also be a good option if you have conditions that are affecting your ability to press down to click. And back under System Settings, Trackpad, you're just going to select this toggle to enable tap to click. But for me personally, I find that I accidentally select things all over the screen when I have this turned on, so I keep it turned off. So if you're familiar with a computer mouse at all, whether it be on Mac or Windows, then you probably already know that if you click the upper right mouse button, that's the right mouse click, it usually opens up different options for things. But since the trackpad does not have buttons, you perform this same process by simply taking 2 fingers and clicking down on the trackpad at the same time. Apple refers to this as a secondary click. When you do a secondary click on an item in Mac, that's how it pulls up those extra items that you would normally see when you do a right mouse click. Now, these options will be different depending on which application you're in and which file type you have selected. Once you get used to this, you're going to use it a lot. Now, for some reason, on new Macs, you sometimes have to turn this on. That can be found under the trackpad settings again, and make sure this secondary click is set to click with 2 fingers. Everything else I mentioned here is going to be done by simply touching the trackpad in these specific ways, not clicking down, just touching it like you would on your iPhone screen. It sounds finicky, but it's really not. It's very fluid and it's easy to become a pro at this. Now, to scroll up or down pretty much anywhere on a Mac, you take 2 fingers, not click down, just touching the trackpad, and you slide them up or down. This works in documents, websites, the Photos app, and again, pretty much anywhere in the Mac. But one thing Mac does differently is the scrolling direction. Now, this is more of a learning curve when you're using a mouse, which we'll get into in just a bit. But with a trackpad, you might find that it feels more natural right away. If you are coming from Windows, this may feel a bit backwards at first. Now, if you happen to be coming from a Chromebook, this is going to be exactly what you're already used to. It's just like a smartphone. When you drag your finger up, the interface goes down. I like to think of it as sort of pushing the information up so you can see further down. You also drag the info down to see further up. Now, I recommend getting used to this because it makes things so fluid between an iPhone and a Mac and an iPad if you have one. But if you absolutely cannot stand this, you can reverse it to work like it does in Windows. To change this, again, under the trackpad settings we've been under, but this time we're going to go over to this section right here that says scroll and zoom. Click that and then turn off natural scrolling if you want it to work more like Windows. But what if you're viewing something on screen and you want to zoom in for a better look? Well, for me, this is where the trackpad really starts to provide more value than a mouse, because in most applications, you can simply pinch zoom in and out with 2 fingers, just like you would on an iPhone. In applications like Apple Photos, it'll zoom in and out on an album or in your camera roll, increasing or decreasing the size of the thumbnails respectively. And if you already have a photo open, it'll zoom in and out of that photo, similar to what you would see on an iPhone if you zoomed in and out. To me, this is especially useful because it's already sort of second nature from using an iPhone. Also, when you are zoomed in like that, in most applications, you can take 2 fingers and scroll around in any direction. This is super useful in things like spreadsheets or photos, and I've gotten so used to how easy this is that I struggle to work without a trackpad on a Mac. But real quick here, if you're finding this video helpful, clicking the like button really helps my channel. If you like these types of videos in general, consider subscribing so you don't miss any new videos from me, and thank you for that. If you're already familiar with Mac, then you probably know that you can have multiple desktops open at once. These are called spaces on Mac, and this really just means that if you have a bunch of stuff open on screen and you need another clean desktop to work from without closing all the stuff you're right in the middle of working on, you can simply create a new empty desktop while leaving this current one alone. It works like this with a trackpad. So in this example, I have a very busy desktop here, and I'd like to open the Photos app in a new clean desktop. All I have to do is take 3 fingers and swipe up. You'll see now all the windows spread out, and I can see which windows I had open on this screen. This is called mission control. But if I mouse up to the top here, I can see sort of a mini version of the desktop I'm on. If I go over to this plus symbol, I've opened a new clean desktop. Now, if I click on it, I have a new clean desktop here that I can open the Photos app on. So I'm going to go ahead and open the Photos app, and now I can work in this clean space on the Photos app. But if I take 3 fingers again and swipe back up again, now here I have this section again of the desktops up top, but I can see the other desktop is still there, just like I left it. The nice thing about the trackpad is I can also 3-finger swipe back and forth between any open desktops. This makes it really nice to go back and forth between different projects. And a quick tip here, you can actually do this with 4 fingers also, which is a little more comfortable. Now, if you've watched my Mac intro video series, you might recall how we searched for applications to open them if they don't already have icons in the dock. But with a trackpad, you can easily find all of your apps by taking all 5 fingers on one hand, resting it on the trackpad, and then pinching together as if you were grabbing something. This pulls a window that shows all of the applications as icons. To close it, you can start with all 5 fingers already pinched together and just open your hand on the trackpad. Now lastly, and I don't really use this one very often, but you can also quickly zoom in or out in many apps by tapping, again, not clicking, but tapping twice on the trackpad with 2 fingers. 2-finger double tap zooms in, 2-finger double tap zooms out. Okay, so there's an overview of the basic features of using a trackpad on Mac. Now there's more features on a trackpad and more settings you can change, including accessibility settings if you have particular needs related to this. And as promised, here's a 1-page cheat sheet that you can use for reference as you're getting the hang of the Apple Magic Trackpad. I recommend grabbing a screenshot of this for later. Now remember, you can always use both a trackpad and mouse at the same time, and this really isn't all that uncommon. But if you're trying to pick one over the other, in my opinion, the trackpad is going to be faster for navigating through your Mac, especially once you start using those gestures regularly. And the best way to get started here is just to focus on a couple gestures and use them consistently until they become automatic to you, which they will very quickly. Before you know it, you'll be maneuvering around in your Mac interface like a pro. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. This one was requested by many of you, and I really hope it helped you out. If you have any requests for specific videos, please let me know in the comments. If you have more questions about anything I put here, put that in the comments too. I do read every single one of them, and I really enjoy chatting with all of you. Also, consider going to the community tab of my YouTube page and posting questions there. I will review and answer every single one of them. And if this did help you, check out some of my other videos where I walk through the basics of using many other Apple apps and devices. Okay, I'll see you next time.